salt can't be the only delicious rock. I'm gonna eat rocks to find the good one. I bet they're trying to keep them from us. Now, it wouldn't surprise me. Child, I learned a joke at school. Me? Okay, let's hear it. What goes in stiff but comes out soft? Is it, running in from the other room? Spaghetti! It's spaghetti! Okay. Woo, wow. Thank God your wife was around. I'm always starstruck whenever I meet a celebrity. I asked him to say ka-chow and he called me a slur. Hey, whoa. First of all, that's not Lightning McQueen. That's one of the twins, you jerk. Alright? Don't try to slander the good name of Lightning McQueen when clearly you ran into one of his freaky fans, okay? You know, the ones that flashed him? Yeah, okay? The ride or die type? I don't know what their personalities really are, but I don't know. They seem to jump from being fans of whoever's the most popular, so maybe they're just not good people. Maybe they're not good cards, okay? But do not put this on Lightning because that is not him. Uno is being added as a table game to casinos in Las Vegas, getting skipped 3 times while your rent is on the line. How's that even gonna work? I mean, I guess at the end of the day, I don't really care. Keep that psychotic shit to Las Vegas. Just keep it over there. I want nothing to do with it. Things adulthood has taught me. Credit cards are dangerous. Having a degree doesn't secure shit. Always read the fine print. Get a pet, not a kid. Rugs are expensive. Fiber is your friend. More people do coke than you think. Not in my f***ing circles, they don't. And I don't know why that... Never mind. It doesn't matter. Breaking. Hackers may have stolen the social security numbers of every American from national public data. Around 2.9 billion records per the LA Times. Haha, that's right. I have them all. My mom, that hike almost killed me. Apple's AI summary, attempted suicide. Oh, but recovered and hiked in Redlands and Palm Springs. Wow, AI sure continues to be super worthwhile. It's very, very good that we're trading the remainder of our dying planet for it. Starting your day with an early morning run is a great way to make sure your day can't get any worse than it started. I mean, my day couldn't get any worse than it started, but that's just, I woke up, so you gotta get on my level. Me reaching nirvana after 7 trillion reincarnations in whatever that word is. Me, nirvana, like the band. Buddha, yeah, like the band. Things that instantly ruin a burger. This person's dream burger. Yeah, what do they mean? All of those? You mean everything but the meat and cheese, I guess? Look, I don't mind a plain cheeseburger every now and then, but I've come as I've grown up to appreciate the reason those things are there. They really do enhance stuff, unless the pickle is cold. If you throw an ice cold goddamn pickle on my fresh burger, I'm gonna be kind of mad. I'm tired of the vegetable hate. Y'all need to grow up and enjoy the crisp taste of something crunchy. Well, I don't know about tomatoes being crunchy. They have a very soft texture. I mean, the skin is, well, not even, man. The rest are crunchy, obviously, but a tomato sits in its own spot. It's truly insane when bosses assume their employees are working for any reason other than a paycheck. Passion? Bro, I'm passionate about not starving. Let's not romanticize survival. Why do you want this job is such an insane interview question. It's not necessarily insane. It's that they want you to beg in a unique way. They want you to stroke what little ego they've been able to get through getting to their job. That's what they want. They want to hear you beg, essentially. They love it. That's what they get off on. And no, that's not like me being dramatic or whiny or whatever. That's just the truth. They know what the real answer is. They understand the way society works globe-wide. I don't know why I said that instead of worldwide, but they know that that's how it works. We don't get regular-ass jobs because we have a passion for sorting milk and stocking cookies. That's not why we're here. We're here because if we don't do it, we will be left behind by society and treated like parasites because we can't afford to survive anymore. We'll pass the threshold, become homeless, and then 80% of the planet will treat us like a disease. That's why we do it. But they want to hear us talk about how grateful we would be, how compassionate we're going to be about, I don't know, carrying cardboard to the compactor in the back. Caught my cat trying to drag an entire loaf of bread down to the basement to eat in private. So I do that every night. What does that matter? Share a piece of lore about yourself. One time I took selfies of myself on Snapchat and put them on Twitter because I thought I looked good. And then they went viral, and someone thought I looked like a douchebag, which I did, and they put a certain text over it, and because of that, I have prevented a lot of suicides. No, don't kill yourself. You're so sexy. It's that guy. It's that guy. I saw this one on my own feed. Timothy, I love ya. That's awesome. It's so funny, man. Honestly, that's been one of my favorite Twitter trends in years, is the bits of lore, because every now and then someone will come out with a bombshell like this. Absolutely incredible. My bit of lore, I'm the what does it mean when it says launch the train guy. That's really all I've got. That's all I've amounted to in the last 12 years of my life. Sorry, in the last 29 years of my life. 2 years ago, I paid $40 to have them show whoever that is busting a move in Times Square for 15 seconds. That's a pretty good piece of lore. I personally don't get it, and no one's paying attention, but hey, 40 bucks ain't bad to just quickly have that pop up. I have enjoyed people being able to throw whatever they want so long as it meets certain criteria on one of those giant wastes of space. It makes them a little more fun. After consuming 64 crayons and eating 2 of them fully, these are my results on which is the best and worst. Hey, US Marine Corps, what do you think about my opinions? I mean, I haven't eaten a crayon yet. I'm sure that they chimed in, though. I would really hope that they chimed in. We're all very anxious to hear. I wish we could choose our baby's fathers. Someone come tell her before I do, because I'm gonna hurt her feelings. Yeah, I don't know what the hell that phrase was meant to mean. My son got thrown out of his hockey game this weekend. I asked him what happened, and he told me one of the players on the opposing team called the girl on their team a whore during the face-off, of course, so he punched him in the face. Acceptable. Dunzo. Not a problem. Moving on. Asteroid half the size of a giraffe strikes Earth off the coast of Iceland. The thing that's still bothering me about this is that a giraffe is easily one of the most disproportionate animals when halved. Which half, scientist? In what direction is it halved? I hate this. They could have thought of any other metric that makes sense to us stupid people to describe the size of that thing, because half a giraffe is trying to be funny. It was a small asteroid, the size of a medium asteroid. Now, what the hell are the odds tonight that I see 2 mystery machines in one day? I feel like this is some type of good luck. What do you mean good luck? You need to get out of that town immediately. Yeah, weird shit happens there, man. If there's 2 Mystery Incorporated, get out. Many fruits can be great names, but the real challenge is naming a child after a vegetable. A child called carrot, but the bell pepper is silent. I admire this, but bell peppers are fruits. LMAO has survived and even thrived over the years, but its cousin, Raffle, has faded into indignity. The cruelty of fate. Well, I guess the reasoning might be that Rafflecopter exists. Or at least it did at one point, right? And that's sort of an archaeological remnant, I guess, of past days, whereas LMAO, was there an equivalent in this case? I feel like there wasn't. Like, you know, we took the joke to an embarrassing height and future generations were going to look back on it and go, oh, that was stupid. Some of you are broke because once you have 5K, you lose appetite for homemade meals. I guess. I mean, I never had an appetite for homemade meals. I despise the smell of food. I genuinely hate it. It's a sensory nightmare for me, and I don't want it in the place where I want to be comfortable. Sure, if I get food from outside of the home, it's going to follow me there, but it's a little bit different when my countertop is now covered in grease and oil and there's smoke, because there's always a little bit of smoke and gas after you cook. I just find it abhorrent, and it ruins my day. I don't know, man. It's insane that you can get a 55-inch TV for like $250. I remember when we got a 36-inch tube TV for the living room growing up, and my dad treated it like buying a car. He took like an hour talking to the salesman. It reminds me of when my family first got a 4K, like 65-inch TV. Man, what year was this? It must have been like 2014, something like that, early 2014. He paid $4,200. It wasn't an OLED. It wasn't some QLED. It was a standard LCD 4K TV from Sony that was 65 inches and $4,200. Now, even if I stick with that brand, I can get that same goddamn TV for like $400 tops. New, right? I have a 55-inch TV from Vizio as my monitor, my third monitor, and it cost me, I think, $280. The goal isn't Gucci bags, it's acres of land. The girlies are turning into Genghis Khan. Oh, I hope not. Kids who grew up academically gifted are now anxious adults who have thousands of abandoned hobbies and spiral into self-hate whenever they make basic mistakes or they're lawyers. There is no in between. So I am the former, but I was not academically gifted. I think people pretended and told me what I wanted to hear and said that I was decent at art and creation, which I never was and never will be, and that's why I'm the former. But oh god, it had nothing to do with being academically gifted, good lord. Every person should be allowed to have one vegetable they hate without shame. Most agree to expand one's palate is a noble goal, but I contend each person deserves at least one thing to hate for their entire life. As far as vegetable, I can't think of one off the top top of my head. When it comes to fruit, though, I do think cantaloupe is the most violently disgusting thing that's ever come from the earth. It is so gross. Yes, that is hyperbole. We all do it. It's kind of fun. I just think they're grody. When I broke up with my high school boyfriend, my 10-year-old brother walked in on me crying and asked what was wrong. I told him, and then he proceeded to log on to Minecraft, join my ex's party, and then go set their town on fire. A family of psychos. Not bad. Not bad. That 10-year-old brother looking out for his older sister. He a real one. You need to respect that. As long as it never goes beyond burning their village in Minecraft. You know, cute that your brother loves you so much and doesn't like to see you sad. It's wild that you can just do anything. Date the wrong person, choose the wrong career. You can go outside and start eating dirt if you want, and the universe lets you. Not even a pop-up like, are you sure? Yeah, I feel like there was some sort of battle of the heavens and hell or whatever, some sort of fight between angels or something that gave us that ability, or I don't know. I've never read the Bible. Y'all ever look at old pictures of yourself and think, damn, people really let me walk around like that? But then you look in the mirror and think, damn, it's happening again every day of my life. Okay. That's something fun to do, I guess. The unfairness of having to lick an ice cream cone into a cube while your friends just do a point or a circle. Villain origin story. Honestly, impressive that he did it. Very impressive. Fireflies near the New York-Connecticut state line. If I saw this, I would not believe my eyes. Look, I love fireflies, but I would have a freaking meltdown if I were in that mess. Genuinely. ChatGPT. Wikipedia is my ride or die. If I'm gonna be misinformed, I want to be misinformed by the people. Well, I got news for you. Shit tons of Wikipedia articles are now being written by AI. I think they're trying to fight against that, but they won't be able to. Wikipedia is actually more reliable than most textbooks thanks to the unparalleled might of global-scale, fully weaponized autistic pedantry. Yeah, we gotta stop using autistic for whatever the f*** we want. That's not how that works, and it's starting to get really annoying and quite frankly disrespectful. At a certain point, stop it, okay? Sure, the people that contribute to Wikipedia might be on the spectrum as I myself am, but not all of them are, and you don't have to be in order to be passionate about keeping Wikipedia afloat because it's the most important compendium of human knowledge that's ever been created. You know? Nobody really talks about how funny it is that Dragon Ball is based on a journey to the West. It's like if someone retold Cinderella but kept going and her dad kept marrying newer, eviler villains, many of whom are aliens, and she needed to hunt down new shoes that give her powers. Good lord, I have never given even a modicum of a shit about Dragon Ball, and that made no sense to me. So I guess that if I were the target audience here, I'd probably think that's the funniest shit in the world. But alas, I am not. Maybe Damien's seen it? I know Zach hasn't. My neighbor just opened my door and walked into my apartment with her friend, so I jumped out of bed and yelled, "What are you doing in my house?" And she just said, "It's fine, I'm your neighbor. I thought you were gone, so I was gonna show my friend the apartment. It's okay." No, it literally isn't. That is a crime. Great, now I'm the bad guy for yelling, "I'm going to punch a hole straight through the other side of your head." Now I regret doing that. I wouldn't. Like, if we have an established relationship where that sort of thing has been brought up, like, yeah, I don't mind, especially if they've come over and they've watched, like, my cat or watered my plants or something, whatever, I don't care if that has been established. But if you're just my neighbor that I don't even know the name of or something like that, and I catch you wandering around my apartment with a stranger, you need to run. You need to run, dude. Get the hell out of here. The two maidens of Pompeii may have been gay lovers, scientists say, after reanalyzing the iconic preserved figures found wrapped in a poignant embrace. In case you'll die in a volcano eruption, remember to sit apart with your friend, or the archaeologist will call you gay centuries later. Why would I care? To the Redditor who recommended I watch A Clockwork Orange with my cancer-stricken mother, I'm sure to you it's just a funny internet comment, but you have ruined 2 of the remaining hours we have left with each other. You spent the last hours of your time with your terminally ill mother watching a movie recommended by Reddit? Guys, that's Dan Henschel. Pierre Lafoe is Dan Henschel. You know that, right? Not to victim blame or anything, but Bruce Wayne's parents really took a shortcut through a neighborhood called Crime Alley wearing fur coats and pearl necklaces. This man's thought process. How many chefs do you think were wrongfully executed in the medieval times because the king's food tester had a food allergy? Hey man, these are the type of questions I want to see in my feed rather than those rent due tweets. It's too bad that it doesn't matter. You can like this type of tweet all you want, but it's never going to show them to you. I mean, maybe it will once every week or so, but all you're going to be getting are ones that are saying whatever whatever outrageous crap they can to get you to go, ooh, I've got to respond and flame this dude. Found out sugar cubes were invented by a husband in the 1840s, so his wife wouldn't keep hurting herself chopping giant sugar loaves just to sweeten her tea. So he made perfect little cubes just for her. Imagine being loved like that. All right, let's see. What do we got here? Mr. Hirsch always wanted to do an episode where Grunkle Stan started his own religion called Stanentology. Legal department frowned on this. His holy book would be a 300-page manual on bribery called the Bible.
Toot toot, alien ghosts live in your bones. Tax break, please.
It makes sense, dude. Gonna start running tomorrow, but I'm confused how it works. Am I just supposed to literally take off running? It's so embarrassing. See, y'all are already laughing. I'm not doing it. Well, you brought it up in a funny situation. Why wouldn't we laugh? I mean, you're right. It is a little when you think about it, but who cares? Who gives a rat's tiny ass whether or not it's embarrassing? Start running. You might feel better. Do you guys have a story in your head and when you're bored, you just add more to it and continue from where you left off? I don't. Do I give this guy an interview? Dude, just hire me. I'll do whatever the hell is needed. No homo. I don't give a shit, Alex. My idiot furry son has one job at night. Bork at things and make them go away. Easy, right? However, a bear has learned that my furry son can be bought. This is the third time he's been gifted deer bones in exchange for being allowed access to my trash, and he keeps doing it. There's nothing you can do there, man. I stopped this vehicle today for a left lane violation on I-65. The driver had approximately 20 cars slowed behind her because she would not move back to the right lane. Again, if there are vehicles behind you, you must move to the right lane to allow them to pass. The people don't care. They're just never going to do it. They're never going to do it. My kid saw a poster for the Smurfs movie and asked me what the Smurfs are, and I began to explain to him that they were blue guys who lived in the forest before realizing that I have no clue what their deal is beyond that. Yeah, there's not really a whole lot to them. I mean, their lore might have been explained, but little mystical tiny creatures that live in the forest and some crazy old douchebag wizard just really hates them. I can't stop throwing up. I think someone spiked my 9 beers, 4 hot dogs, 6 smoked ribs, 1 brisket sandwich, 8 slices of watermelon, 3 cupcakes, and 4 chocolate chip cookies. I don't know. Why are kids always depicted as having these? Literally no one has these IRL. I don't know. There was a guy in my row at the Superman screening I went to who brought his literal baby, but it didn't cry. And when the movie was over, he said to my brother and me, bet y'all thought he was gonna cry. Now, see, that's how good Superman is. Even your baby's gonna lock in. Straight men and lesbian women need to work together to create the kind of bonds gay men and straight women have. We are decades behind. My 3-year-old said she wanted to be an astronaut, and I said she had to study hard, go to college, learn a lot of science, and take a physical fitness test, and she shrugged and said, that's just 4 things. So she's basically a nonchalant motivational speaker. In 5th grade, my friends made a secret society, and in order to join, you had to prove your maturity by tearing up a Pokemon card. We should do that again for scalpers. They won't want to join, though. How did he do this? Why did he do this? Because f*** you, that's why. In Spanish, the word for non-binary is non-binario, or non-binaria, depending on the person's gender. Oh, white guys have a slur for other white guys they don't respect. It's called buddy. Wait, hang on. I just want to make sure that is the comedian I saw do the joke. I'm not sure who did the joke first, but I have seen that recently. It was on Instagram. I don't follow them, but I know. I don't know. I just don't pay attention to names. That's one of the other things that sucks about scrolling through these is I've seen that joke. He performed it a little bit differently, but I do wonder if it was his. It's called buddy, dude. Salt would be much safer if we removed the chlorine. Me spontaneously igniting as I eat elemental sodium. Breaking. Earth may be, yeah, we've seen that. Would be very funny if there's a ton of livable planets and aliens, but we're in a cosmic shithole. It would be our just desserts, wouldn't it?